Starting up with frozen cameras. Let's see if I can fix cameras. Okay, so we're up to session number 49. And at least some cameras are working. Let's see. That was also working. But this other one behind me seems more frozen up. Let's see what I can do to fix that one. There we go, camera fixed. All working. So yes, we are up to session number 49 with technical problems as usual. We have people online today. We have Morgan.
Hello, I am Morgan. I play Quest the Goblin Bard. Here to make music in trouble to try and get out with my skin intact. Easier now.
It is a lot easier now that you're on your second skin. But you can visit your first skin at any point you like. It's still hanging up.
Yep. It's alright. I'm sure I'll get there at some stage.
Don't worry, it's not fully dead.
Mostly dead. Mostly dead. It's not yet completely dead.
I'm not sure if that's more disturbing than the ability to switch between bodies. Okay, also online today we have Peter.
Hello, I am Peter. I am playing Lord Willy Won Kenobi, otherwise known as Low Blow. Yes, that's who I'm playing.
Yes, he is the best monk around, I'm sure. Hey, at least it could have been worse. You could have been the best ninja around.
I'm trying to get that ninja qualification, but you know, I'll get there eventually.
You will eventually. And currently outside at the moment is our other player for today, Josh. He'll introduce himself when he gets back. But you are currently in the middle of Secrets of Roderic's Cove, and you have spent some time finding out you have 3 tasks to perform to set the ghost of Roderic to rest. Each of those requires you to dismantle a terrorist cell, which is the nicest way of saying beat up the bad guys. So you've got a group called the Fangs, who are basically beating people up for fun and money. The Order of Resplendence, who are a bunch of peacocks, people who are overly dressed and telling everyone what to do because they know best. And the Road Keepers, who you've met some of, who you might want to go back and clean up at some point. The locals have asked you not to kill everyone because a lot of townsfolk are tied up in these gangs, and the last thing you want to do is murder most of Quest's childhood friends. Though when it comes down to it, I'm not sure you'd worry too much if it was you versus them. But they haven't been going on killing sprees, so murdering them for beating people up is completely different to beating them up for beating people up.
Yeah.
You guys have beat a lot of people up, but you've also gone down the murdering people part as well.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think we should be, the first people to throw stones.
How about punches?
I mean, we're regulated people to throw punches first.
Well, we can't throw punches first.
But we do, saying. We regularly throw punches first.
Yes,
Awesome.
you regularly manage to go in there and deal a lot of damage. The downside is you have a habit of killing those people you beat up, which makes it really hard to question them later.
We just need a few more levels so we can get Speak with Dead, that's all.
To be honest, I don't really have a problem with that. It's just that you will make a lot of enemies along the way.
Understood.
I'm sure they'll lie to.
And there's still the demon you awoke to deal with. But I'm sure that's for another body, for another day.
Hmm.
So you were told the entrance to the... Where? Yeah. To the area where the... Trying to get the right names of everything. The Horned Fangs. I should be writing all these things down in different places. Last thing you want is to have copious notes that you don't have to refer to. So the Horned Fangs are located under the inn.
Under the inn.
Yep, the main inn. Riverside Inn, because it's next to the river.
Under the inn.
Yep, there is a chute in the inn that you can just slide on down, as you've been told by your not so happy elf.
Does the innkeeper care that we're about to lay the smackdown on his tenants?
You didn't know they were there.
How do you not know they're there?
Because they're not in the basement of the inn. They're way below the basement.
Oh.
Okay.
It's, if you don't use the rope, you might not be getting out.
So,
after you, Morgan.
we've got to dismantle these people
Yep.
so that Roderic can be laid to rest.
Yep.
Because he's upset that they're all making a muck of things.
He says that they will destroy the town unless you stop them.
Alright. So, do we have a good reason for them to stop?
Yes, if you stop them, then the morose elf might actually leave the town alone.
Alright. So that'll work.
And that seemed to be cheering up most of the town folk, is because they have a reward fund for whoever can make the elf happy and leave.
Alright.
Well, she's buried every generation of townsfolk so far.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So do we know, other than this chute, where the entrance is, lair might be?
As far as the elf knows, that's the only entrance she's discovered in the time she's been here.
Okay.
Whereas the Order of Resplendence is in the Peacock Manor, which would require you to stealthily go in. And the Road Keepers would also require you to take on the witch in charge. You're not exactly sure which one's worse.
Well, going down the pit or the chute, as long as we've got a rope to climb back out again, I don't see a problem.
Well, you did have your morose elf friend said she will stand watch for a day for you to make sure no one cuts the rope, but she won't go down with you. And you did find out the leader of the Road Keepers was known as Mother Night Thrush.
Night Thrush.
Yep. She is very much the witch.
Right.
That was who Dollard Reginald told you to avoid.
Yeah.
You didn't know at that stage you were supposed to dismantle each of the groups.
No.
And you know that the head of the Order of Resplendence is Corstella.
Right. Which one was she?
She is the one who humbled the other groups when fighting them. She is the expert on Thassilonian law.
So it'd be good if we could get her on our side then.
It would. There aren't many experts. And it's rumoured she can actually read to some degree of success.
Hmm.
Where most people who read it are the equivalent of, I think this word means this.
Yep.
So she is a reputed scholar. And she does have other people with her as well. Rumoured that a elf also into Thassilonian law has been studying with her by the name of Alden. And a illusionist by the name of Cantolin. So good. Don't apologise for what a baby has to do. We shall work through it. And the leader you're supposed to look out for amongst the Horn Fangs is Jana Gildersleeves, known as Gold. She was the best guardsman of the town before she started her own gang.
Best guardsman in town
Before she started her own gang.
Right.
And that's how she is described. So, quite the staff expert. Something that our monk might make use of. Because the staff is a monk weapon.
Yeah.
And that is how, what's her name again? Corstella is described. So she is fairly well described as a magic user. So we are getting a bit of feedback from your mic there, Morgan. Okay. So that was the idea of jumping down and dealing with the Horned Fang group, because it meant one less organization to mess with you. And hopefully that should make it easier for you. Who wishes to jump down into the depths below first? It's about 100 feet below the inn.
Yes, I'll go first.
Okay. As you look into the chute, give me a perception roll.
And on the dice, which is a modified to a 14.
14. Okay, you actually can see after sticking your head all the way in, that there is actually a ladder built into the shaft wall itself, but only if you're got your head all the way in. It's not visible. It's not visible from above, but it's visible from below.
I'm still going to take the rope.
Mm-hmm. And the walls of the shaft are super smooth.
Okay.
Basically, you can't get purchase on it except for where the rungs are. Okay, so you have no problem being lowered down 100 feet by the rest of the party. And at the bottom of the chute, there is a door that's currently shut and it opens away from you.
Okay. I'll make sure there's nothing crunchy or strange about the floor, and I'll drop down.
Okay, there is a little bit of debris here and there, but nothing that looks recent or like a trap.
Okay. I try to avoid the crunchy bits as I land, but basically I'm trying to move silently.
Yep. Give me a stealth roll.
I've got a 12 on the dice, and I'm going to get a plus 11, so 23.
You are extremely stealthy. You don't even hear yourself move across the floor.
And I wait for the party to come down.
Who wishes to grapple down next?
You want to go to Paladin?
Sure.
Okay. The buffest wizard known to man climbs down the rope. Good need to roll for that one. And I'm assuming he's then followed by Dusa as well as Kroll. Because tonight, Josh is proxy for both those characters. So if in trouble, I'm sure he has Dusa and Kroll armor.
Yep.
And then Quest slides on down.
Quest will try and shimmy his way down safely. Semi-safely. We'll slide on the floor, I guess.
Well, using the rope to slide down is fairly safe if you know what you're doing. You realise that you wouldn't be able to use the shaft to slide down. It's too slippery.
Too slippery?
Yeah, the walls beside the ladder part are so smooth that you can't get purchase on them.
Alright. Yep.
You don't think it's natural? It reeks of magic to you.
Yeah. Everlasting grease or something.
Doesn't have a layer on it, but the stone is super smooth. Okay, and when you get down to the bottom, each of you can feel the cold coming off the door that opens away from you.
Yep. Closed still?
It's closed still, yes.
Right. Is there anything else on the walls? Markings, pictures?
Just looking up, you can see the rungs that are hidden from above of the ladder that goes all the way up.
So there is a ladder out as well?
There is a ladder out, yes. It's just well hidden from above.
Right.
Though from your perspective, whoever put the ladder in did not really take into consideration small people.
Okay, so I have a rope.
You still have a rope, and you have an elf holding the other end of the rope and tying it to something to try to keep it safe for you.
Okay. Did you check the traps yet?
Who?
Anyone?
Both Doza and Kroll turn to Quest. With that look of, isn't that your job?
What's the what are the rules for actually detecting traps?
I believe it is a perception roll.
Yeah, no.
See, as I pull out a character sheet that I can actually reference. Oh. These things are always handy to have on hand. So it's a thievery check to open the door, a locked door, but it is a perception roll to notice the trap. And certain classes get bonuses when their traps are involved.
Alright. Well, I guess Quest will check the door.
Mm-hmm. You think you can get your tongue stuck to it if you lick it?
The Quest is good.
You can even see bits of ice under the door.
Yep. So, I point that out.
So there's a good chance that there is some sort of ice trap here.
Yep. Does it look like there's a way to stop it happening?
Do you set it off? Burn it down? Perhaps make a perception roll?
Right. Perception. Well, I rolled a 2, which I think has a +7 on it. Looking at a 9.
Can I borrow your room? I think this big is just too much.
Just gonna evict my kitty cat from the bedroom. So I'll be right back before you make your roll. Kitty cat hasn't had much baby times, so don't want kitty cat to get too brave and too close to baby.
Mm-hmm.
You tend to lose whiskers that way. So he was all sound asleep on the bed and then noise came in.
Yep.
So what was your perception roll?
I believe it's a 9.
That was a 9. Okay, yes, it does look like some sort of deadly ice trap to you with a 9.
Alright. Any volunteers? For opening the door, trying to go around it.
No going around, but I vote Doomsday opens the door.
Doozer's more than happy to open the door. And goes up and goes to give it a big shove, and it just opens with the slightest touch. Looking inside, you see Frosty Keg sitting among 3 wooden shelves, all covered in thin sheets of ice. Bottles, jars, and packages of perishable food sit in organized rows on the shelves. I'm happy for Quest to make another perception roll with advantage.
With advantage, we'll take it to a 24.
Okay, looking at it. Oh, it wasn't a trap after all. This is called storage.
Right.
But it really looked like a trap. You're really sure it was a trap to begin with?
No, I'm pretty sure it was a trap. We just got around it safely.
What kind of foodstuffs?
Okay, having a look around, you find it has a whole bunch of very strong beers, as in the thick syrupy kind.
Okay.
And a lot of fruits and vegetables, as well as various different spices and other things. Did you pull the door over slightly? So we'll stop the cat trying to get back in there. So you can see all that stuff there, which is pretty cool. Camera's not good enough for you to see what's happening in there. I was going to give that to you to look at if you needed it. Okay, so yes, they found the cold storage room and successfully bypassed the trap by the use of Doozer. Besides all these things, you see a door that opens towards you to the south. There's just lots of ice on the walls. You probably also see fish in some of the barrels that are nicely stored. And it's at about 40 degrees Fahrenheit. No idea what that is in centigrade.
I'll grab a piece of fruit.
Yep. It's nicely chilled. Okay, so it's about 4 degrees Celsius.
Yep.
So you're using what you have to do to translate these things. The door to the south looks as if it has had regular openings. You can see the wear marks on the ice on the ground where the door has swung open.
Right. Can we hear anything through it?
Okay. Possibly. Give me a perception roll.
Perception, I'm good at these today. That's going to be an 11.
Your dice know you're going on holidays and are trying to betray you. Okay, listening to the door, you can hear everyone else creep up behind you, making pains to be quiet.
That's all I hear.
Yep.
Yep. Right. Yeah, it sounds empty.
It does.
Good.
I give Doozer a nudge. What are you waiting for, big fella?
He goes to start charging the door down again. And runs smack into the door with a loud boom and falls down.
Yeah. Of course.
Well, they did say the door opened inward. Duza has, had a habit of, running down doors.
Yes. Yes.
Duza is looking a bit startled at you as to how the door didn't open. As you notice the door slightly ajar towards you.
Pull it open.
It just pulls open.
Yeah.
Inside you see what appears to be a kitchen with 3 doors exiting that room. Besides the one you're coming through. Each of the doors open inward. Bane of Duza. Inward opening doors. None of them have any latches or locking mechanisms, neither does the one you opened. And you can see several ancient looking tables, counters and stoves in there. Who wishes to go in there first?
Wouldn't be surprised if Doozer went in first, but Harry's happy to go first.
Okay, Parry steps in. As you step in, apparently it's the stealthiest you've ever been. You can't even hear anything moving. Parry has become the master stealther. None of you can hear him moving about as you move into the room.
No. Harry's not this stealthy.
So, what does everyone want to do? You can see stoves, cupboards, benches, and doors.
Oh, it's a kitchen.
Anything on the stove?
No, the stove is actually empty.
Is the stove warm or is it very cold?
As you walk in, you notice that the stove itself has a hot and a cold section. So one section, everything on top of it is heated, and one section, everything on top of it is cooled.
So part of it's warm, so it's been used recently.
You have no idea. Give me a perception roll as you look at it.
It's gonna be 15.
15. Looking at the top of the stove, you see that there are runes around the stove itself. One end of the stove has various runes that you think mean heat, warm, simmer, all that sort of stuff. And the other side of the stove seems to be runes about cool winter ice or something along those lines. It's not exactly clear, but you think one end is magically heating things up and one end is magically cooling things.
Okay.
So you can get something somewhere in between to get the perfect temperature you want for something. And it looks like it's been in place for many years, because you can see a lot of Thassilonian runes in the design.
Right, so they hijacked the place.
So this oven itself was probably 10,000 years old and still working.
Fun.
Just like the vault's working, it shall never die.
This is 10 Regent business.
What was that? We're going to finish around 10ish, yeah.
No, no, as in the address. 10
Oh, it is 4 of 12.
4 of 12, sorry.
Yes. Getting yourself some decent food.
Yeah. Getting myself some food.
Did you want anything to tide you over? We do have other stuff in the house. Phone's just telling me sunset has arrived.
Hooray!
And so yes, it does look as if this was a kitchen built for purpose. They sort of do that for you. Makes it easier for people to find the place if the lights are on. And you have 2 doors in the west, 1 door in the north which you came from, and 1 door in the east. Each of the doors appear to open towards you and don't have any locks visible on them, and aren't fully fitted in the walls either. But you also notice that you have a hard time hearing anyone else in the room. You don't even hear Dooza walking across the room.
Can we hear anything at all, or is it dead silent?
Oh, you can. You heard Dooza walking into the room from the icy room, the crunch, crunch, crunch on the ground, and then nothing as they step into the room.
Right.
Give me a. I would probably make that a. What's your character's spell casting?
Occult.
Give me an occultism roll.
Oh, hey, that was high.
Woohoo!
My skills occult is +9, so it's going to be in 28.
Okay, you are very confident that there is a silence effect on this kitchen, which was probably put into effect to not disturb the guests of this establishment from whoever was using the kitchens.
So, can you guys hear me?
They don't even notice you're talking.
Yep.
You can hear yourself in your ears. It's that sort of thing that when you're had yourself near a loud explosion and your hearing doesn't work right, you can hear yourself talking, more of feeling but not actually hearing it.
Yep.
So what do you wish to do?
No, try and get someone's attention and sign language at them.
Okay. Let's see who's going to notice you this time. There are 4 other people, so a D4 will work well for that. Where have I got D4s? Here I've got one. Okay, so apparently you are getting the attention of Kroll. So, Josh, what's Kroll doing?
What's Kroll doing?
Yeah, he's just got the attention of Quest, and Quest is trying to do. He's doing gestures his direction.
Kroll will attempt to do gestures back.
He can successfully do gestures back. I'm not sure how helpful they are because neither of them know sign language, as far as I know.
Yeah.
Quest is just pointing at his ears.
Kroll will look confused.
Does Kroll try to talk? What does Kroll try to say?
Kroll tries to say, "Do you need help?"
Okay, Kroll doesn't hear anything going out, and no one seems to understand. Well, does anyone have lip reading? Did anyone take the lip reading skill?
Nope.
No.
In which case, no one seems to understand what you're trying to say. Because lip reading is a thing. And unfortunately, no one seems to know what you're trying to say. And Parry realizes that you're in a silenced effect as well. It's not perfect silence, but as far as you're concerned, you're going to have to make a big noise to be heard.
Of course. What else is in the room?
Besides the tables and the ancient stove, 4 other doors leading out of the room. This room seems to be rather clean and kept clean.
Mm-hmm.
There's not even anything on shelving here.
You say there's nothing on the shelves in there?
No, nothing on the shelves in the kitchen area.
What about in the cupboards?
Okay, the kitchen basically has tables, counters, and the stove. The only place with an opening is the stove. You open it, it's nice and warm.
Recently used one, or
Has the warmth of as if it's currently in use.
Huh.
And it's been currently in use for about 10,000 years. When you can build magical stuff, why wouldn't you build something that never requires maintenance? Just, a little bit of magical assistance every now and then to keep it running. Which means it may go haywire at any point while trying to use it. But you also think the oven has the bit where you can place things in it at different points to get different temperatures.
We've got to move in here once this place is clear.
Yeah.
Come on, it's better than your place.
Sorry. I resemble that remark.
love how you're both trying to talk in a room of silence.
And basically, you can see Willie mouthing towards your general directions, and you can see Quest apparently lip reading, responding.
I just assume he's insulting me.
That's what I said, apparently lip reading and responding.
So there's only one door.
There are 3
out of
doors.
this place.
There are 3 other doors out of this place besides the one you came in. There are 2 to the west and 1 to the east.
I point at the east door and shrug.
Okay, Doozer charges the east door
Okay, there it is.
and bounces.
I walk up to the east door and pull.
It just opens, it's partly opening on its own already.
Yeah.
I'm sure Doozer will get it right one of these times. Well, it did the first one. And looking into that room. By the way, there was no boom when Doozer hit the door this time.
Okay.
You see tall round tables line the wall of a spacious ballroom. Dark wood paneling and crimson curtains cover the walls, and crystal chandeliers shine their twinkling lights throughout the space. And you can see doors, exits. There are exits all over the place. 2 doors exit from each of the east and west walls, and a pair of arched openings allow exits to the north. You're in one of the arched openings. The southernmost door on the west wall is swung open, and the southern door on the east wall hangs ajar. The southeast corner of the room is draped with heavy velvet curtains. And inside the room, you can see a pair of gang members apparently sparring with some strange creatures. Let's see if I can see what they translate to in Pathfinder 2.
Well, at least I know where this show's going. At the end of the day.
Into the wash. Okay.
I smell great.
It could be a lot worse. There are a lot of worse things that can happen.
I know.
Okay.
Boy.
Let's see if I've actually got them in one of these books. It's always nice when I look at these things going, do I have one of these? Can I find it? So I can show you a picture of it. It's so much better. Okay. Yeah, apparently there are not other versions of it. So in Pathfinder 1 there were a whole bunch of creatures that haven't been translated to Pathfinder 2 yet. All you can say to that is yay. Because some of these creatures were downright nasty.
A good challenge for a third level party, yeah?
Oh god, yeah. So I'll just use the base one and modify it on the fly as usual. That always works out well.
Nothing can possibly go wrong with that.
Well, you haven't died multiple times in the same session yet.
Yes.
Well, something to aspire to. Okay, so you see creatures that look like that sparring with some locals. So if you've ever seen the Blade 3 and the vampires there, look very much like that, or Predator Face. Where it splits into three, it goes out and out. They seem to be having some sort of sparring contest. I haven't noticed you yet. You did come out the sneaky way.
The sneaky way?
Yep, you came out through silence.
Right. Can I roll something to see what they are?
You can. Give me an occult roll.
It's going to be a 16.
16. They are some sort of demonic creature. Nothing natural can open its mouth like that.
Right.
How's little baby doing?
Hey.
Better?
Willie, you do demons, right?
No. What do you mean?
You do devils?
What do you mean, do I do devils? What are you talking about?
Do you want me to change the temperature?
You're friends with them, right?
It will be,
No.
but I can turn it down a bit.
Yeah, if you could turn just the flow down. I much appreciate it.
The handiness of having special stuff means you can go in and do things. Okay, I'm going to put it on low.
Yeah.
So it'll just make a slight beep, but they're going to be quiet after that.
didn't want you to mess around with the temperatures because I know it's
That's why we have it on automated. Okay, so yes, they haven't noticed you yet. Would you like to do something?
Suppose introduce ourselves at some point, but quest isn't going to do anything.
Sorry, we're introducing ourselves. Is that what you said?
Quest did say
Quest
that.
isn't going to do anything just yet. Quest is going to wait.
So these guys are known as the beat you up first before talking you type people. So
Yeah.
it's up to you how you deal with them. So I will give you initiative.
Okay. 18.
18 for Willie.
this initiative.
Yep,
Is under perception.
that will be under perception.
And M did send me her
We could use deception for this by being sneaky, right?
Well, you could go with using your stealth with a bonus if you wanted to. I'd give you advantage on stealth.
Yes. Cool.
I'm sure that will go down great with the upgraded initiative on the guys you're facing.
Yep. That's probably great. Let me just see what Doomsday's gonna roll.
Okay, so what was Quest's initiative?
Quest initiative came out at 26.
26. So what did you get for Dooza and Parry and Kroll? Kroll is equivalent of +3 to any roll. Because we
3?
don't have a sheet.
Okay. So Kroll got 12, Dooza got 17, and Parry got 28.
Okay, so the hellish creatures stop their pawing and look at you with glowing red eyes.
Ooh. Spooky.
Seeming to ready themselves for you. What does Parry want to do?
Me or us?
Parry is next.
Oh god. They're looking at me threateningly.
They have a rancher each. So a long-bladed axe.
So they're looking threatening at me.
They have it in preparation for defending themselves.
Defending themselves. They look scary. I cast Glitter Dust.
Okay. What does your glitter dust revolve?
I'm just trying to figure
Because there are 4 targets in here. There are 2 bandits and 2 of these hellspawn.
So it's 120 feet and a 10-foot burst.
You can say you can get all of the people in the room in that burst.
Cool. It's reflex saving throw versus my DC. So they make a reflex save.
So we're just eating a little bit. So the first one gets a 27.
That's a success. Yep.
Or a critical success. Second one gets a 13.
That's a fail. Figure out where it is.
Third one gets a 16.
That's a fail.
And fourth one gets a 20.
That's a success. So... for everyone that failed, the target is dazzled for 1 minute, and the invisibility is negated for 1 minute. On a success, the target's invisibility is negated for 2 rounds.
So neither were invisible at this stage, so they get no penalty. But they're easy to see.
The 2 ones that fail get dazzled though.
Yeah, I've got them down. So.
And that was, I think, 2 actions to do.
And my cards are fun.
They look scary. And so I have to regulate around them.
There's a source everything.
Yeah.
Okay, next person up is Quest. You're now looking at sparkly versions. You've apparently found the shiny versions. Your shiny hunt is
Do you know how that's
successful.
spelled?
Do you
Do
know?
we know what that spell does?
Yes. It's parry. It makes everything fabulous.
Hell yeah.
So everything is concealed from you. It means you must succeed at a flat DC 5 check to hit anything. So there is a 25% chance on any attack missing.
Right, so they're blinded, effectively.
Yeah, well, a slight blind is not a bad blind.
That's 4
Alright.
minutes.
How many did
10
you get?
rounds.
10 rounds, yeah.
He got 2.
Cool. So the quest is just going to say, hi guys, sorry to drop you in here unannounced. Could you tell us where your leader is?
Which language are you using?
Sign.
Common.
Okay.
I would love if you were saying that sign language again.
So you get out a statement. I'll make that 1 action. I'm happy for that to be 1 action. What do you want to do for your other 2 actions?
Are they speaking at all?
Not at this stage because it's still your turn.
He'll just play a jaunty tune to put up Inspire Courage. And he'll burn the other action.
Okay. Willie, you are up. You should really get yourself a shield there, Morgan, because it always gives you a usable action to give yourself a higher armor class.
Unfortunately, I got rid of shield.
I meant an actual physical shield.
I see.
Good,
So you know what? He'll use his last action to cast guidance on Willie.
Okay.
What?
Willie is now guided by Quest. Trademark.
Okay. Am I wrong in thinking that we've not attacked them at all?
You haven't attacked them yet, and two
No,
of them.
we as a group.
Oh, technically you have attacked them. You've thrown a harmful spell at them.
Okay, so
Parry made the first attack.
how about Doozer?
Dooza hasn't acted yet. Dooza acts after you.
Okay. I'll wait until Doozer's had her go. Or his go.
Okay. As Josh is out of the room, Dooza's waiting for what Willie does. Unhappy.
We had a quick nap.
So what would Dooza like to do?
Juzo will try and intimidate them by doing what Juzo does best.
Start flexing.
Yes.
Okay. It'll be nice. I'm making a roll for her. She's got a 13 on the dice.
Give me half a second.
And I believe that gives her like a plus...
Let me have a quick look. I've got a thing here.
Should be about plus 7 to 8.
Intimidation, you say?
Yeah.
Plus 5.
Plus 5. Okay, so gets an 18 on her intimidation. Unfortunately, 2 of them don't really notice because they're dazzled. And the other 2...
Hello.
And the other 2 are actually frightened 1.
They're frightened, Bob.
Intimidation does have its advantages because it does make it easier for the rest of you. So don't forget that frighten is not stackable as well, though. So all it does is give the highest level of it. So you've got them; they're either frightened or dazzled. Okay. So Dooza's gone. What's Willie doing now? That would have been one action for the intimidation.
Yeah.
Would Dooza like to do anything else?
I'm sure at this stage, so probably not.
Okay. So it is Willie's turn.
Okay, well make sure I'm at least 1 square behind Doozer, and I wait to see what happens next.
Okay. Now we're up to the Kroll. What would Kroll like to do?
Kroll probably ready an arrow.
Yep. And what's he readying for?
If they charge the party.
Okay. Okay, so at the one of the guys drops a stone into a sling and flings it at Parry.
Yeah.
We're casting a spell at him.
Yeah.
Apparently he can target your square.
Okay.
So he burns his 17 on the roll to actually see you.
That's good.
And then he gets a 19 plus... so he gets a 28. What's your armor class?
No, not that much. That's for sure.
If it's 18, he may have just got a critical hit on you.
I know, I think he has. That's for sure. Definitely not 18. Yes. 17 is fine. So.
Okay, so he crit hits your wizard.
Ow.
Is your glitter dust concentration?
No.
Oh. Okay, so with his 18 points of bludgeoning damage to the face,
Ow.
I think our wizard took the first damage of the round.
Yeah. There goes 75% of my hit points.
And he uses his next action to pull a hatchet out.
Oh, cool.
Then the other one decides he's going to throw his hatchet at Dooza, who scared him.
Mm-hmm.
So he gets a penalty on his attack roll because of the frightened value. So he hits an armor class 24. How does that hit El Dooza?
24.
Yeah.
Resolution 20. So yes. It's Dooza.
Luckily, it went from a 5 to a 1 because it didn't land in the tree. So he takes 6 damage from the slashing damage. From the thrown thing, and as he pulls out a second hatchet, and then yells out intruders in Varisian.
Huh. Intruders. No, intruders.
Okay.
We're adventurers.
After he does that, the two halberd wielding guys move forward and trigger Quest's Hallowed action.
Quest?
No,
Oh no,
you
Quest,
go action.
Kroll's Hallowed action, sorry.
So, Kroll takes a shot at one of them.
Yep. The one that starts to move forward first.
Mm-hmm. +3. That's the 14 plus Quest and Inspired Courage is 15.
15. Okay, he dodges the arrow.
Uh-oh.
Apparently Kroll can miss.
And apparently Kroll can miss.
And then he moves up and attacks Duza with his halberd. Oh, Rancher, actually. Rancher. And hits armor class 30 upgraded.
Well, it's a crit just to kind of...
Well, it has to...
It was a crit on 30.
No, I thought she had a...
20's after her armor class.
yeah, so yes.
So it's a crit on 30.
Which means it just made the card crit.
Yeah, yes.
If that had been 21, it would have been a card crit.
Exactly.
Better not use a critical fumble deck because that would just look bad. So us getting bonus from those away. Just managing so many things at the same time. Sometimes I have to keep checking messages to make sure I don't have to immediately fix something. Okay, so his critical hit with the piercing damage is he causes a bleed effect.
Uh-oh.
So that will be interesting because I've had bleed effects kill characters in this game.
Oh, God.
Yep.
Oh, the other group lost one character due to bleed damage because they couldn't stop the bleeding.
Oh.
And the two characters that were down, one was they were both the medical ones. So you don't want to lose your medic.
Nope.
Okay, so it's a D10 plus 4 by 2. Okay, so that is 5, so it takes, no, plus 7, 14, so 14 piercing damage. With 3 bleed damage.
Ouch.
Okay, so that is one of them, and that's its second action was the attack. It goes and tries to swing again. Actually, I think it can disarm. So it can knock out Duza's weapon. If I can look that up properly. Because that's actually using equipment intelligently. Why would I want to do that?
Yes, Bob, I agree. We're all in trouble.
Okay. So. With its third attack, it knocks Duza's big fancy axe out of his hands
Oh.
to the ground.
Oh. How rude of them.
Second one moves in and attacks Duza. Okay, can actually see Doozer, so that's a good thing. And then Mrs. Doozer. And tries to hit Doozer again. Succeeds in seeing Doozer, and then Mrs. Doozer. So 2 swings and a miss. But they did see the right square to attack. But the frighting condition has dropped. And it is Parry's go, who'll be back in a moment, so I'll have him pause while... Oh, he's coming back. What would Parry like to do?
Parry? You hit me?
You got hit in the face by one of the bandits. One of the ones you made glow.
I'm terrified of that. Parry's gonna cast. Actually, where's everyone else?
Well, you have in front of you Willie, Kroll, Quest, and Doozer. And Doozer's right up the front getting beaten up by these guys with the glaives. Ranchers.
I'm gonna help Doozer. I'm going to walk up, grab one of them, and cast Shocking Grasp.
Okay. As you walk up, one of them takes an attack of opportunity on you.
Oops.
These guys are skilled. So, he hits armor class 29.
Yeah, credit,
And he does
I'm down.
a lot. So that is 16.
Hey Bubbers, I need to have some dinner. You gonna let me have some dinner if I sit down? Probably not.
So Parry is on dying 2. Quest.
So, one of them had attack opportunity. He's taking Parry down.
Alrighty.
Yep.
Everyone else is attacked though, right?
Everyone else is attacked, yes.
Alright. So they're gonna stop.
Are you seeing blood gushing
And no
out of
one's
Doozer?
And yeah, nobody responded to me, right?
No, they didn't. You realise that they didn't speak common.
Right.
They probably only speak Varisian.
Well, he'll keep playing his tune, and
This is gonna be really interesting to try and eat all this one-handed,
he's going to try and cast Soothe on Parry.
Okay, what does Soothe do?
Soothe is a heal 1d10 plus 4.
Okay.
For 15 health.
15 health. He's got more health than he started with in the round.
Mm-hmm.
They do have to move your position to in front of he who swept you.
Mm-hmm.
But that should be his actions. Actually, rather than just casting his tune, he's going to burn a focus point to get lingering composition up.
Yeah.
He rolls a so 24 on his performance check, which will give him 4 rounds of effect for his Inspire Courage.
That is very cool. So you get off your inspired courage.
Yep. So yeah, he puts his hand down and he strums some chords in, and the banjo just keeps playing itself.
Which is always fantastic. And at the start of Dooza's turn, you see blood leak out everywhere as she takes another 3 points of damage.
Mm-hmm.
And what would Dooza like to do with their great axe on the ground? Reaching down to pick it up will provoke.
These will probably just take a swing.
Okay, so step up and swing.
Mm-hmm.
So good thing is the step doesn't provoke.
Mm-hmm.
Normal movement does.
What was it?
So one action to take a step and one action to swing.
Alright. What is M's stuff? What's that, bub? Can you see? Alright. Oh, I know. That is a 17.
A 17. Okay. It just blocks Dooza's fist with a flick of its wrist.
Wow.
Seems it wasn't too fast. Basically missed it by 1. So do you actually provide bonuses, Morgan, with your Inspire?
Oh, so then if it's a +1 to hit, then it's 18.
So is that a bonus, Morgan?
Yeah, Inspire Courage is to provide a +1 to attack.
Okay, so you hit. He tried to rock it and it was smack! Hits instead.
What's Dooza's unarmed?
So unarmed for the basic layman is not as good as normal people. Our monk, for instance.
I bet she does more damage than I do, though.
Possibly, still has to actually, so it's 1d4, and it's non-lethal damage.
One d4 non-lethal.
Plus strength mod.
That's strength. Dice from behind you know, everything.
So there is a good chance she can still out punch you.
Yeah, almost guaranteed.
They are. What's the strength mod? 7 points.
Okay, it takes a 7 with a punch. And you have one action left.
Dooza will sick Poppy on.
Poppy didn't come down.
What? I thought the roars come down.
Well, Poppy can't climb rope. And Dooza used both hands on the rope.
Dooza is going to. Dooza's going to quick draw out a orc knuckle dagger.
Yep, which will not provoke.
Yep. And then have a slash with said orc knuckle dagger.
Quick draw, take an action, or is it a free action?
Quick draw says, according to his character sheet.
Quick draw is an action to pull a weapon and make an attack.
Yeah, you may draw your action and attack with the same motion.
Okay, in which case then it is an attack with a what's the orc dagger?
Yeah. No, big yawn. Are you tired already again?
Orc knuckle dagger is agile, which means it's a minus 4 to the roll instead of a minus 5. Hello.
Hello, I know, we're just woken up. Oh, goodness me.
Has Doomsday used his undermarking?
Sorry?
Has Doomsday used his what?
Hunter's mark?
Has not used Hunter's Mark yet, no.
No. Sorry, I'm not used to Doomsday. Oh, no bothers.
What did you get with your dagger?
It's a miss.
How much of a miss?
Not a crit miss. I think it's 9.
So a 9 is 1 point off a crit miss. Is that with Morgan's bonus?
Sorry, 10.
Okay. Everyone keeps forgetting the bonuses you're giving, and I'll have to keep reminding people. Because it will make that difference. At 1 point is amazing. Okay, so that was... Now, Doozy gets to make a flat check, which is a d20 roll with no bonuses, to see if bleeding stops.
See if bleeding stops. Woo, 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 woo.
You want to get at least a 15.
Aha! That's 18 on the dice.
Okay, so bleeding stops.
Yay!
Otherwise, it keeps going.
He's not going to bleed out. Or he's going to be happy with me.
Though I do love the goblin fire, because you have to roll a natural 20 to stop the goblin fire. It's that horrible. Okay, so Willie, you're up.
As Willie calls out, "We running yet?"
Nah.
I'm happy for that to be a free
And
action.
then well, 3 words. It's a free action. And then, because why not? Suicide's a great thing. I'll have a go at one of the bad guys. Why not?
Okay, as you rush in, the other one takes its attack of opportunity.
Sure.
Because
why not?
they have reach.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, so he hits armor class 22.
Yep, good enough.
And apparently didn't like you very much because he does 13 points of piercing damage with it.
Yay! Cool! So I'll use all the monkey bullshit that I've got. What do we got here? And I will, including the bonuses from my bard, I will get a. I'll roll it again. Oh, fuck off, cock dice. What's that? 17. So 27.
27, that makes it a 1 off a critical hit. Did you include the bonus from your goblin friend?
I did.
Then you get a hit.
And the second one is a 29.
And the 29 becomes a crit hit.
Now, fear my damage, because truly it is awesome. Hear it. And he's going to end up having to make a fortitude, a saving throw against my class DC.
Okay.
Fortitude, I think.
His fort roll is a 25.
Well, it's really enough. Fine.
Alright.
I do a massive 16 points in my power.
Okay, it still does beat into him quite well.
Alright. Alright.
And
That's it. That's my go.
that's your go. And then Kroll's go. What will Kroll like to do? Pincushion?
Kroll was probably going to see that Dooza was bleeding out and try and heal Dooza.
Saw the bleeding stop.
Still he'll do them.
Okay. So I would probably say a group heal at this stage, considering everyone's harmed, but can't do so without healing the other people, so would probably do a targeted heal.
Yeah.
So a D8 plus 8.
Yeah.
So Kroll heals Dooza 16 points.
That's good.
Dooza's looking a lot better. That would be 2 of his reactions.
I don't know what he'll do for the third, sorry.
Fire an arrow.
Yeah, sure. Fire an arrow.
Okay, roll an arrow for me.
An arrow.
You should potentially have +7 to that at least.
Cool. 24.
Okay, he hits one of them, and I'm gonna say D6 for damage, just to make it simpler.
6 plus whatever an arrow is under. Is it strength?
Normally dexterity.
Normally dex.
I'm not sure if we add dex damage to bows, but I'll just say we do.
Probably plus 4. No, 3 maybe.
Okay.
So 9. I assume.
Okay, all he needed was at least a +1, and he takes down one of the demonic creatures with an arrow.
They are defeatable.
Though you've only harmed one of them at this stage.
That's fine. They are defeatable.
Okay. Now, one of the guys with the hatchets. You see him drop a stone into into his sling and fling it at Kroll.
Yep.
You know, spellcasters are nasty.
Yep. What's that?
So he gets a 27 on Kroll, which I'm gonna probably say is fairly much a crit at this stage.
Yep, I think so too. Well, you just have to go into your rocket for that.
And does 12 damage to your fearless bowman. Taking half his damage.
Where are you, Buttons?
Then he drops another stone into his sling. And that's his turn. So, can see, but misses. And the other one does the same thing, loading slings into his thing to fling it, with the demonic creature giving it protection. So we have the dazzled guy who tries to swing at Dooza, succeeds at seeing where Dooza is, and gets an armor class of 20, which I think is Dooza's armor class. Which is right on the money. And does 13 points of damage with a slash. And then tries to bite Willy.
Yay!
Okay, so that would be a 24 to bite Willy.
Good enough.
Okay, so Willy gets to make a will save against the bite.
Will save.
Yep.
Okay.
After taking 7 points of piercing damage.
22.
Okay, with a 22, you are sickened 1.
I have no idea what that means.
So what sickened means is that you take a status penalty on all your checks and DCs, and you can't eat anything. So you get a -1 to all your rolls. You can spend 1 action to throw up to make you feel better.
Okay.
But you got to beat the DC of what caused you, which you already did succeed, which will then reduce it by 1.
Does that make it sicken 0?
Yeah, when you're sickened 0, you're no longer sickened.
Oh, okay.
So you can't eat while you're sickened.
Okay, so for 1 round?
Well, you've actually got to reduce it yourself. It doesn't reduce on its own.
Okay. That's why I'm putting out a fight and I got vomit or do something to get rid of it.
Yep. Or have someone touch you up with a spell saving thing.
Cool. Okay.
Okay, so that is the demonic creature. Then it is Parry's go.
Harry! Yeah, she's just eating her bunny.
Hello. It's okay.
You might be
So I will have Parry pause for a moment while he's sorting something out, and we'll have Quest go. What would Quest like to do?
So with his banjo still playing itself, he pulls out his wig and cracks it innocently, and he turns to the guy that's just got a stone at Kroll.
Yep.
Goes, oi, why don't you get a real weapon, you ugly prick? And pass. Whispering to him.
And what does that require him to do?
I think it's a will save. 1, 2. Yeah, so they took a will save.
Okay, he got an 18. I don't think that is enough.
Oh, I think my DC is 19.
He failed!
Well, I can't find reference. Oh no, my DC is 20.
He did fail. So what happens to him?
He gets to take persistent fire damage.
And do you have the goblin fire damage?
I do not. Now, you rolled at the beginning of the turn, right?
No, you roll it once, and that remains the damage ongoing. So he takes that damage at the start of every round.
Checking what happened. So, the target becomes frightened 1 and takes 4 persistent fire damage. So he gets 2d6, which will become 8. That means the end of every turn.
Frightened 1 and 8 fire damage. That is pretty cool. And then I should go to Parry.
Yeah. She's probably hungry again, and I haven't eaten, and this is all just a mess. Harry, what's happening to Harry? He's on the floor, isn't he?
Parry is on the floor looking up, feeling so much better after getting knocked down.
Yeah. Anything around me?
You can see that there is one of those creatures with the big wavy thing. You could spend an action to roll 5 feet out of its way.
No, I'm going to roll 5 feet towards it. I'm going to grab it and then cast Sudden Grasp.
Okay. Unfortunately, that's a manipulate action in its attack of opportunity, allowing it to have an attack of opportunity on you. I will point that out before you do your action this time.
Sure, I'll roll 5 feet out of there.
Okay, you roll 5 feet out of the way. So that means that this creature is a warrior type creature. Only warrior type creatures have attacks of opportunity.
Yeah.
Even paladins don't get them at first level. Destroyed provide some distraction at this end.
You have it done, you don't have a spicy needle too.
So 5 foot is one action. Is that better?
Distraction. Distraction's up.
I know, right? I'm gonna fire an acid arrow off from the ground.
Okay.
Which is...
What does a scenario require?
I'm just trying to...
While you're looking that up, we'll have Willie go next.
Me?
Yep.
Okay.
Trying to give Josh gaps between characters.
Yeah.
Okay.
Give me a second.
So who's...
So make a spell attack against the target.
Mm-hmm. So you have one guy with a halberd. You have one guy, one of the that one demon with the halberd. You have one bandit on fire who's dazzled and frightened. He's just fabulous.
Go for the halberd.
And one guy who is so far untouched.
I'll go for the halberd.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Okay. So.
He's also the one who beat you.
Okay. Well, yeah. Why not?
So remember, all your rolls are reduced by 1 at this stage until you throw up.
Yep. Okay. So 20.
20
for the first one.
20 is a hit.
And the second one is 25.
25 is also a hit.
So I'll do.
Hello.
13. And fortitude save.
13 and a fortitude save.
Yeah.
He gets a 14. He rolls badly.
Okay. So he failed.
Mm-hmm.
Woo!
failure!
So it's just the stunning fist.
So what happens to him? He's stunned?
Yeah, stunning 1, I think it was, from memory.
Okay, stunned. Well, you can't act while stunned. Includes a value of how many total actions you lose from being stunned. When you regain actions, reduce the number you regain by the stun value, then reduce your stun value by the number of actions you lost. So if it's only stunned 1, you've just reduced his actions by 1 for 1 round.
Cool.
Which is not too bad, but it does mean that I will take away his reaction while he's stunned. Okay. And that was your full round?
Yep.
I believe we're up to a Doozer,
Doozer.
who gets to get some punching in.
Grab that one. No, we don't want that one. Okay, we're probably hungry. Goodness me. Doozer is going to swing with the dagger at the guy in front.
Okay. The guy who's gone and bitten one of your friends.
Yeah, pretty much. 28.
28. Okay, 28 is a critical hit.
Cool. It deals something damage.
It would be piercing.
1d6 something or other.
So I think it's 1d6 piercing with a
1d6 plus 4. Times 2. 18 points of piercing damage to that one.
Okay, so it also goes down, and you are noticing that as these things fall down, they burn away.
They burn away.
Yeah. So the bodies go down in and burn away over a round. So Doozer now has 2 actions left, and the other guys are out of range. Does he want to rush up to one and hit them?
Sure.
Give him another punch, and he gets a -4 to his normal roll. Hello, Mia.
Yeah. -4, you say?
Yeah, to his normal roll.
So plus 5, plus 6, 22.
22. That is a hit. And so D6 plus lots.
D6 plus 4. 8.
Okay, so you stab the burning, dazzled, frightened guy.
Oh, yay.
Okay, so I will have Kroll fire an arrow at said person,
Please.
who hits, doing another 8 points of damage. And then he throws a heal at Doozer. Apparently not as good this time, only 9 points of healing. Then the bandit burns quite badly. Almost to a cinder. As he tries to swing his hatchet at Doozer. Can see Doozer. And hits Doozer for a 28, which is not a critical. Doing 7 slashing to hit Doozer with while being blinded. Tries to swing again with a second swing. Can see Doozer. But misses Doozer. And goes again. And unfortunately doesn't actually see where to swing. Actually the DC is 5. 5 is the number.
Oh, no.
And then gets a 14 to hit Doozer. No, gets a 16 to hit Doozer. Because it's an agile weapon, -4, not -5.
Yep.
And that's his turn. The other one takes a flick of its sling at Kroll, who's been healing people. And apparently misses Kroll completely.
Nah.
And has a second swing. And a 15 would miss Kroll as well.
I would believe so, yes.
Okay. So he has 2 shots at... so his sling is now currently empty. And then it is Quest's go. What would Morgan like to do?
Muted. Right. Helps if I unmute, right?
That was why I continued mentioning.
Yep. So the guy with the halberd is doing what at the moment?
Both of the people with the halberds are slowly burning away.
They're dead.
Yeah, both.
They're both down and burning.
Right.
And you never set
so
them
how-
alight.
Yeah, right. Well, that's good for me. I don't feel so bad.
Oh yeah, I gotta check to see if the burning guy goes out. No, burning guy does not go out.
Alright. So, is it just the 2 humans left now?
Just the 2 humans left. One of them's currently on fire with 8 persistent fire damage.
Alright. You don't want to play. I get it. You don't want to play.
So Quest is going to turn to the one that's not on fire. Just say, how about we stop now, and we can all just get along nicely in Varisan.
Okay, I will give you a perception roll.
Deception roll?
Yeah.
That's a 22.
Okay, looking at him, you can see the Rune of Wrath is slightly glowing on his body, and he has the look of someone going into rage.
Uh-oh.
Right.
As you see, the burning
Now,
guy
did you say
also has
deception?
this. That was perception,
Yeah.
yes.
Did you say deception?
No,
Or perception?
Perception, notice.
Perception. Alright. Perception is actually... -3, 19.
So yes, you still would have noticed that they look like they've gone into some sort of berserker frenzy.
Right. Well, in that case, I hit the guy that's not burning days.
Okay.
He gets to make will save.
Apparently today's the day for the Bandit King. He got a 25.
It's okay. So what's his total save there?
25 for the total save.
25. So that's only a success. So he becomes like he still takes the 4 damage
Yep.
and just takes the 4 damage.
Okay. He takes 4 damage.
On the
And
floor.
that brings us to our next person up, who is Parry.
Who's left? The two douchebags with slingshots.
Yep.
How far away are they from me?
They are about, probably say about 10 to 20 feet. You can stand up and move over to them quite easily.
Good.
That's 2 actions.
That's 2 actions. I'm going to stand up and... Is anyone within striking range of them?
Yes. You have Duza riding one of their face.
Bugger.
He's currently trying to stab someone, the burning guy.
Okay, well if Duza's stabbing the burning one, I'm going to acid arrow...
The other one?
By my nose. Shh. Yeah, I'm going to acid arrow the other one.
Okay, is there a saving throw or an attack?
No, it's a spell attack.
Okay. You can do it! Baby power!
What's that? That's a 29.
29 makes it a critical hit.
Yay!
Critical hit with acid to the face. How much damage does she do?
I believe it's 3d8. Bob, I understand. Give me half a second. 316.
Okay, acid arrow. You do 3d8 damage.
Yep.
Plus 1d6 persistent acid damage. On a critical hit, double the initial damage but not the persistent damage.
Okay, cool. Hello, handsies. Don't.
So 3d8
don't
by
yank.
2.
Yeah, 3d8 by 2. Thank you. And then 1d6 for persistent acid.
Yep.
Yep. I know.
You'll be able to bench press cars soon.
Yeah, pretty much. Warrior. That's actually alright. What's that? 28 points of acid damage. 28 points from the arrow.
Okay, so he goes down.
Yay! Thunk.
And you can see him slowly sizzling away to the acid.
Yay! Yay!
Okay, so it is
No, that
Willie's turn. What would Willie like to do?
Are you grabbing my
There is one burning guy still standing.
I'll move over. As I move over, I drop out of my stance, and I'll subdue him
Okay.
if I can.
Well, you can you can make your attacks non-lethal.
Yep. Well, but you can't do that when you're in tiger stance.
I understand.
15
15 total is a miss,
and 26.
and a 26 is a hit.
So I will do a massive 7 points maximum damage.
And you knock him out.
Yay!
Okay, you have 1 action left.
Stop his head!
He is the guy who's burning.
So turn around and say something like, fuck these guys, or something like that.
Okay. So it's Dooza's go. Willie's just turned around and said, fuck these guys. What does Dooza do? Does Dooza stabby stab?
Dooza will tie the guy who's burning.
Just so you're gonna add flammable material to the flames?
Actually, is there any water nearby?
Not in this room. You're in a ballroom.
Great.
sure Doozle what Doozle will do. Doozle probably won't go for the... Hopefully not go for the main kill, but
Well, she can get 2 kills here because they're both dying.
I think Doozle will resolve the action, so I can't.
Okay. All good. And I'll have Kroll hold the action as well then.
Yeah.
Okay, so the one you knocked out, Willie is continuing to burn. So it's now
That's
gone
not
into
my
dying.
problem. So I look at Kroll or something and go, help the guy maybe? I don't know.
And the one that got hit by the acid, you just watch his head melt from acid.
Was that one of the ones I was fighting?
That was one of the bandits.
Oh, Jules.
Okay, but I wasn't fighting that guy, right?
You didn't fight him at all. He went down before you got there.
Ah, good. Good.
But his head's gone now.
Good. I mean, no, good.
Okay, so Quest, apparently you're up as you've watched one of your captives continuing to burn.
He's unconscious?
No, he's dying. When you take damage when you're unconscious, you start dying.
Alright. How many actions is it to try and put the fire out?
It is a single action.
Right, we'll try and put the fire out.
Okay, give me a flat check.
Okay, flat check. 19?
19. Okay, you successfully put the fire out.
And I don't think I can do much else from here.
You can do a medicine roll to heal him, to stop him dying. It's a stabilize check.
I will. I'm going to hold off on that and let the actual medic try and do it.
So our medic has a +5 to the roll because he's not here with any actual stats.
What stat is it? 10?
It is a wisdom check, and the DC is 5 plus the creature's recovery roll.
Right.
So
Well, let's throw a caution to the winds then. First we'll try and do it.
So it's currently on dying 1, so that makes it 21 is the DC.
Well, 21 is the DC? No,
Yes.
Kroll can kill something for me.
Okay, let's give the Kroll gets a 20 with the bonus you gave him. He missed it by 1. And the creature stabilizes. So you didn't have to do anything in the end. So you have managed to capture your first person. As you hear sounds of people coming towards you, would you like to tie him up and return out before anyone knows you're here? You could drag both bodies out so no one knows what happened.
Do we stay or do we go?
Well, if we stay, there will be trouble.
And it could get double. It could be double.
Team Rocket.
Right, let's drag these two into the silent room and then we can have a chat, I guess. Bar the door into the silence room.
We've had one fight, and I'm already half hit points. Dooz has been beaten up. We almost lost Parry.
Nah, Parry's still standing.
So, thinking being here not really a good plan for us. Just saying.
Yep, let's move.
So, climbing back up the rope and getting the fuck out, or what?
Yep, sounds good to me.
Okay, you take your captive with you?
Sure, we can try that.
Okay, so you
Climb
spent
the rope and drag him up.
you spend some time returning and dragging the guy. Most of the people didn't really hear the commotion because they were already mock fighting, so they didn't really know the difference.
Alright.
I did roll for them, no one else noticed.
Yep.
But if anyone else did notice, you were going to increase your difficulty by a lot. So yes, you managed to sneak everyone out. Go there, Peter.
I'll get rid of my second condition,
Yep.
and I effectively look at the party and go, look, if we went into one room, one area, and we failed as badly as we did, doing this sort of stuff is not for us. I believe we're effectively wasting our time.
I don't disagree, but maybe we could start interactions by not throwing punches?
They were demons. I didn't think we had a choice.
I mean, we could have tried talking.
Well, we can try talking now. Let's see how successful we are. We've got a captive.
Okay.
Let's make the most of him.
Okay, you do manage to get him up the shaft and to Quest's house before anyone notices.
Does the morose elf say anything as we drag this guy out of the hole?
She says, "Oh, you found a friend.
You don't know who this person is?
Local."
Do you know who it is?
She looks closely. Sort of looks like I would say Paul or Joe or Joseph. Hard to tell. They sort of blur after a while.
Okay.
They grow so fast.
They had demons down there.
Also, what did the
We
demons look
had
like?
4 demons.
She looks like she actually has an excited expression on her face for the first time. What did those
You're
demons look
sick.
like? Yes, I know she
What is
says.
wrong with you?
Many things. Would you like me to explain them all?
They were Matt demons.
Well, 3 generations of humans raised me. So, my father, their children, and their grandchildren all died raising me.
Uh-huh. Alright, well, let's get this guy to Quest's place and we'll see what we can get out of him.
Okay. She's happy to help distract people while you drag the person in bound up to Quest's place. And Poppy's always happy to help as well. So you make it to there and manage to tie him up in one of the rooms. And after about 3 hours, he wakes up, not wanting to spend healing on him.
Yeah, no. While he's unconscious, we tie him up nice and tight. Like, one hand between his legs. And I go talk to the weird ranger guy we know and see if he's got any leaf on him.
Okay. He doesn't need you to pinch. He just gives it to you. It says, make sure you breathe out. Otherwise, it you see too many sparklies at once.
Okay. Thank you.
I'm going to strip this guy naked.
Okay. Before or after he's tied up?
I don't care.
Okay. You just cut it off?
Sure, why not?
So what does Parry do watching Willie strip someone naked? With his dagger.
I don't have a dagger. I use tiger style.
Okay,
It's
so
pretty
he
sharp.
he uses his nails to rip the person's clothing off. He does a magic mic moment reversed.
Yeah. Harry's gonna leave these guys to do whatever.
Okay. Apparently, Parry thinks this is your private time and leaves the room.
That's okay.
And so he wakes up 3 hours later, naked and tied up.
Hang on. As soon as I've made him naked, I'm going to look him over head to toe.
He has only one rune branded on him, and it does seem to be branded, of Wrath, which is no longer glowing.
Where?
On him, on his shoulder.
On his shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay.
The other guy had it on his neck, but his head's missing, so he didn't bother taking him with you.
It was scrimmies.
And it's not glowing anymore, did you say?
Not glowing anymore, no.
This guy went berserk
He did.
when we were fighting him, yeah?
He did
Okay.
went fairly berserk.
Cool.
But they do have the symbol of Wrath on them, so it might be fitting that they went berserk while they were attacking you.
Yep. So I sit down and wait for the rest of the party to bother to turn up and question this guy.
Okay. So after a few hours, you have Quest, Parry, Kroll, and Doomsday show up with Poppy,
Cool.
and then he wakes up. What would you like to ask him as he looks at you fearfully?
Yeah, Quest, what would you like to ask him?
So, how are you doing?
Cold, he says.
Cold.
Sore.
Well,
I hurt. I'm a little tied up at the moment.
that does tend to be the way. So demons.
No, not demons. I'm not a demon.
You hang out with demons?
No, they're not demons. They're creatures of wrath.
Uh-huh. And how often do you hang out with them?
Oh, they were helping train. They're better at fighting than I am. Mozama brought them.
Who did that?
Mozama.
That's the guy that runs the...
You've never heard that name
Gang.
before. The person who was supposed to run this gang was named something else.
Right.
The gang leader was Jana Gildersleeves.
Right. So, why are you training with wrath demons?
Not a demon. They are remnants of ancient times.
Mm-hmm.
They come from the old world.
The old world, you say?
Yeah, old world. They speak same languages me and everyone here. That's their native tongue.
Alright. So, what's with all the tats? Why do you want wrath?
What? Jana picked this out. She said it was best looking rune on stone tablets. So we should all use this as our gang sign.
Gang sign.
So much better than the road keepers. You know, those guys who hang out in trees and swing from them with songs, or the splendid people who just go around going tot and watch you more. At least we have a cool gang. We're the horny guys and girls. We're all horny.
You're all horny, are you?
Yeah. Well, that's why we're called the Horned Fangs, because we're all horny. All the time.
I feel like that's the worst reason for a band things.
But it's a cool name, he says defensively.
Mm-hmm. So, do you reckon we could arrange a meeting with the person who runs you?
Possibly. It's a little hard to do that right now. I seem to be tied up.
Mm-hmm.
Don't know why I'm tied up. Last thing I remember doing was having a drink or something, and then waking up here.
And where did you have the drink?
Oh, I had that while speaking with Mozama. He said it would make me feel stronger.
Do you feel stronger?
Not now. I feel naked and alone. Don't know where my brother is. He and I hang out and do everything together. You
Did
didn't
he
see
drink
him.
the drink with you too?
Of course, we drank him together.
Is anyone going to tell him?
Yeah.
Sorry, what?
He had the rune on his neck. He thought having the horn fangs on his neck was fantastic. It would get him laid more, he said.
Nah, he's dead.
But how can he be dead? I just saw him. You know, when I had my dream.
He probably did, but his head came off, so he's dead.
Why would you kill my friend, my brother, my best pal?
Because he was scum?
He's not scum, he's my brother.
So your brother's scum. You seem to be scum as well.
I'm not scum.
If I didn't have people standing around judging me, I'd kill you too.
He just burst into tears.
Oh, you weakling! You scrub!
He cries more.
Oh, God.
So much for being horny.
But they promised we'd live forever.
That's hilarious. They might live forever, but you're gonna die real quick.
Okay, so as you say that to him, he actually starts choking.
Choking?
And his face starts turning blue.
Oh no. Oh no. Someone better help him. Oh no.
Kroll
He
just
could die.
looks
Oh,
at
no.
you and says, "Oh, I've got something to do outside," and gets up and walks out.
Yeah.
Sorry, who says what?
Kroll says, "Oh, I think I left something on the stove," and gets up and walks out.
Thanks, Carl.
I look around. Is anyone else interested in helping this guy?
What's going on with this?
Because I watch him die if that's what occurs. I go, it's natural.
He's choking.
Pharasma is obviously calling him home. This is
And there's
this is
nothing
great.
that you could be choking on.
He's got it thrown up in his mouth and choking on his own vomit. He is tied up at the moment and can't move very well.
I put him on his side.
Ah,
Okay. Give me a medicine roll.
bloody hell.
As Perry tries to save the person. He can still roll a 1, you know.
Yeah.
Okay.
Medicine. Alright. Medicine is a good one. 22.
22, you actually rolled quite well. Apparently we should be turning to you for help at some point.
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Yeah.
so you stabilize him so he's no longer choking on his own vomit and his face stops turning blue.
Yay! Recovery position. That's it.
I
I know.
give Parry Sorry, I give Parry a pat on the back and congratulate him on an awesome performance. That was great. Well done. No, my character's serious. He's not being a dick like he normally is.
So yes, you did manage to save the NPC.
Yay!
You now have a captive who's now unconscious again.
That's fine. He'll wake up again later. We're not having any understanding of what the hell happened to him the second time.
Okay. So after an hour, he wakes up again.
Yeah.
You almost died, my character says.
He says, "But you
Well, you're going to live forever?
You threatened that you're going to kill me. It was
No,
scary.
I didn't threaten anything.
Here we
You're
go
going to
again.
die.
I'm gonna die."
You're going to vomit into your fucking own throat again, you
And he,
douchebag.
and he throws up all over the ground again.
Weakling.
And there's also a wet patch on the floor too, from something else.
Does anyone else have anything to say to this guy?
Puppy looks at you and then cocks its own leg, and if it's going to be blamed for it, it leaves a bigger puddle.
Don't have anything else to say to him,
Good
but
dog. Good dog.
we could do with the information.
What information?
What do you want to
Any
know?
information.
I was
Sure.
born on a,
What would you like to know?
I was born
How to arrange a
16
meeting with
years
the
ago.
leader.
Oh. God, okay.
Both my parents
I,
are dead.
I go right in this guy's face and I go, how do we organise a meeting with your leader? You pathetic weakling.
Let me go and I will tell them.
What?
So he says in a really bad voice, "Let me go and I'll tell them."
Yeah.
Sure. That sounds like a plan. What do you reckon, Quest?
Nah.
No? Oh, okay. So my character grabs hold of his hand and says, well, look, can you think of a reason why they might want to meet with us?
You're scary.
Sorry?
You're scary.
Yeah, I am.
Very
So
scary.
again, and I grab his finger and I go, so can you think of a reason why they might want to meet with us? And how we might organise that?
Because they might want to talk about you joining their gang.
That's certainly a good idea. What do you reckon, Quest? Is that good enough?
Sure, but how do we discuss that with them?
I tell them
that's a
they.
good point.
I don't want you to...
You TV mom, aren't you? You watch
So I completely missed all that.
George is gonna go cry in a corner now.
He says he can let them know.
Alright.
So
I don't think
you wouldn't have to have some sort of...
So what was that, Morgan? And then I'll ask Peter.
Yeah, good call.
So, I don't really think you understand what's happening here. I'm doing my best to keep you alive, but until we talk to someone who does something and is important, you don't get to leave here. So, either we talk to them, or my associate here deals with you.
You could yell down the hall. I'm sure that might help.
Alright, well I'm gonna go yell down the hall and leave you with my associate here. Quest leaves the room.
I'm going to hurt him a lot.
So lots of broken fingers here.
Well, my character says, you're not aware of anywhere that we might leave a message or something along those lines?
Toss a message down the chute. That's the way
Yeah,
they come in and go.
that's true. That is true. I go to the door, I let go of the guy's hand, I go to the door and I say, Quest, as the most wise and ever-living individual in here has said, we could throw a message down the hole and they would get it eventually.
They use the hole every day.
And they use the hole every day. Oh, that's good information. We could set up an ambush, Mr. Quest. What do you think?
It's been 9 months.
I think like that sounds good. What kind of a message
Yeah.
did you want to drop down the hole for them?
Solo?
Whatever message you wanted to talk about, I'm happy to just kill them all, but I'm constrained by you guys.
I've got Pepsi Max.
That's very mature of you. I thought you were going to drop like a severed head down there.
I thought so too. With a note in the mouth.
I hate you. Such a good idea. Why didn't I think of that? Damn.
You just need to keep going with it.
Oh, there's still time. There's still time.
You are thinking about it now.
Yeah, that's a great idea. I like where your head goes to, Quest. That's great. That's really good.
So you can either put the message in the mouth or write it on the forehead.
Yeah. So should we create a ambush the people who come out of the hole, and write a message on someone's head when we kill them and throw it back in the hole?
Hello? What are you doing? You actually good.
I think we should do one of those things. I think dropping the head down the hole and putting up in the ambush is probably going to like let them know that something's up.
Oh yeah.
So the ambush is a go, but the murdering and throwing heads in holes is not a go. Is that what I'm hearing?
Not just yet, I'm guessing. Maybe later.
We can always do the heads in the hole later, I guess.
Pile of bodies, pile of heads. You know, really, I don't want to be a killjoy, and if that's what you want to do, I won't stop you.
Well, see, I like where your head goes to. You tend to get to the matter real, like a direct line. It's inspiring, I might say. So, I go back to the guy who we've got tied up.
Yep.
And I say, you wouldn't happen to know how often these your compatriots leave the hole, would you?
That they have to leave about every 8 to 12 hours to get in and out.
Sorry, what? 8 to 12 hours to get in and out?
Yeah, though they could also exit in the cellar of Cove Hall.
Sorry, the cellar of...
Cove Hall. The mayor's house building in the centre of town.
Wow. Okay, my friend, I think you just bought yourself continued life. Congratulations. Well done.
And then passes out.
Well done. So, sounds like the mayor might be involved in this. Should we go and knock on the door?
Sure.
Yes.
So, how are we going to approach this? Should it be aggressively and over-the-top violence, or should it be diplomatically?
We can try diplomatically first, and if that doesn't work, we can always resort to violence.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah, okay. So, Quest, you're up first, and then after that, it's gratuitous violence.
Okay.
Okay.
So the bunch of you head over to the mayor's place, and I think we'll finish the session as you're walking and discussing how you're going to beat the information out of the mayor.
One of the things I want to do, though, is get the morose elf, if I can,
Yep.
to keep his eye on our prisoner. I wouldn't want him to choke to death on his own vomit again.
She's more than happy to keep an eye on him.
My character reluctantly says, "Thank you."
She says no need to thank. She'll make sure if that he doesn't die before you get back and finish the job.
Well, I've actually said he can live, so...
For now.
Okay. Thank you. Okay.
Okay, so she's happy to watch him as you return with, and you figured out you probably found a way for Poppy to get in.
Yep.
Yes. Hopefully.
And that sounds like a good place to finish for tonight. So, Baby can get home earlier. Morgan can get himself a nice rest before going on his trip. And we shall see how they survive. I think we may be able to fit in another session before Christmas, because next session would be on the 17th. So we'll have someone proxy quest in the meantime. Who would you like to do your character while you're away, Morgan?
Hey, Peter, do you want to try playing Quest? And you can fuck up his rolls?
Sure, I'll give it a go, but I promise nothing.
Look, all you got to remember is to do the funniest thing in the least constructive way.
Awesome. Will do.
It all works fantastic. Can you send a copy of your sheet to Peter?
Yeah.
Yes.
That way, at least he'll know exactly what he's getting.
Yep.
And have a safe trip.
Yeah.
I'll do our best.
We want to see you in the new year and see how things go.
Well, I should be there. If I'm not, it's somebody else's fault.
All too true. So have a good night, guys, and have a Merry Christmas there, Morgan.
Yeah, and a Happy New Year to you guys.
Hey, Morgan. You and your partner, are you guys still interested in doing Whiskey Live?
Yeah, probably.
Well, I'm just hoping that this year it's not going to be as shitty as last year. Sorry, next year is not going to be as shitty as this year, based on the COVID and whatnot. So,
Yep.
Yeah.
When is it?
Usually, I think it's March or May, because it's always the month.
Right.
I'll let you know closer to it as soon as I know what's going on. And basically, I'll get you tickets as a Christmas present.
All right. Cool.
So I'm going to drop out of the call,
Right.
so I'll catch you guys later.
Anyway, I'll go as well.
Have a good night.
Okay.
Good night.
See you all.
See ya.
See you.